Alright guys, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. It is always a pleasure to know that you're watching. Recently fished an online derby, the Yak and Stack Kayak Series Weekend Warrior. This was a 3-day event. I was fortunate enough to win it, and today I'm going to take you guys through the fish catches through this tournament, the fish that put me in the top spot. So hang out. Let's put some fish in the boat. Alright guys, you can see here I'm hooked up with one of my first fish of the day. Actually, this was in only a couple of casts of actually wetting a line, and I got bit. That is always a tremendous way to start the day. Got him in the boat, and man, the adrenaline gets pumping. You can see here I'm getting him ready, getting my board wet. Got to get my fish measured, got to get his picture took and submitted to the app, and got to get him back in the water as soon as possible. That's a great benefit to the way we run our tournaments, is catch, photo, release. Here he goes.
First
back
cast and a fish on the board.
Yeah, fish on the board. That's what we like, putting them in the boat. Alright, just as soon as I got that other fish released, retied, I swung over to this other bank, just on the other side of where I was just at, and went right back to work in the grass with a spinnerbait. I'm going to let you watch as I go through this and work this grass in and out, and let's see if this spinner bug will pay off one more time.
Don't you jump. Don't you jump. It's a good one. Right here, buddy. Get back here. Get back here. No. Oh, that's what I need.
Well guys, it was right then and there. I knew I was going to keep that spinnerbait in my hand for most of the morning, and I did, and it paid off down the stretch. That doesn't mean I didn't try a lot of other baits. I threw a frog, I threw a jig, I threw drop shot worm, but I kept coming back to the spinnerbait, and right there is why. This would be I believe this one was a 20-incher or 21-inch fish. Super proud to have it in the boat. Gonna give you a look at it right here. Look at that hoss. That's a fine one right there. So good to have that in the boat early in the morning. Good way to start a tournament.
depends on me. Back mid-scroll, I'm getting arcane. Walking the wild, walking the wild. Don't know why. Cosplay cowgirls and numberless jazz. We're feeling just fine in our running hats. Walking the wild,
Now right here as I get this fish in, you're about to see me do something that I never do in a tournament. It is a no-no. It's taboo. You just don't do it in a tournament. Watch closely what I do right here. Getting the fish off the hook, back in the water. I didn't even take the time to measure it. Somehow I had it in my head. That fish was smaller than it actually was. I realized how big it was. A decent fish when I got back into the computer and editing and looking, and oh my God, what I do. Because what happened later was the bite slowed down. Even though I started off in a flurry, it didn't last like that all day. That fish could have really cost me. You never throw a fish back, either if you're in a weighing tournament or a measuring tournament, either one before you check him. And I could have had a boo-boo right there that cost me.
There's one. Oh,
Alright, now you guys have seen me catch several fish around this grass throwing a spinnerbait so far. It's been a lot of fun. I've cut out a little dead time here and there, but we're still early on in the morning. But what I haven't shown is I have spent some time throwing a frog and all that in some of that grass. And a couple weeks ago, the frog bite up here was really good. They were busting through the grass, a lot of activity. Now, on this particular day, I tried a frog off and on all day long. I never got a single blow up. And that to me is just crazy. If you look out across that expanse of grass, that is some of the best looking frog vegetation that you can find. And I never got a touch on a frog. But the old spinnerbait for the first part of the morning, as you can see, buddy, it was shining through. Alright guys, the scenery has changed in this scene. I have moved way on down the lake. We've got out of our big grass flats where we started, and I'm still chunking that spinnerbait and still concentrating on the grass edges. That's going to be the key for my whole day. The frog, as I said before, wasn't working. Here we've hooked up with, I think, our number 5 fish of the day. Bam, in the boat. Spinnerbait was definitely my ticket for success. We will make a change pretty soon after this. We'll head back down the lake. All right, after that last fish, it was about an hour and a half before my next bite would come along. I was about ready to give up. We were about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was really, really hot, and I was getting just kind of disgusted with myself. I made a bait change. I went to a chatterbait, and as you can see, man, what a good job netting that fish. But making a bait change seemed to turn things around. Got a big fish in the boat. There's another 20 incher. That's my either my 21 or my 20. I had a couple over 20 for the day, and that was one of them right there, right after a bait change. And wow, I was surely proud I decided to make that little change, because it turned things around. Even though it was hot, when once you start getting those bites again, uh, you kind of forget about that for a little while, and adrenaline gets to pumping, and man, we went right back to putting fish on the board. And it was one of those, either you're spinning out or something good's gonna happen, and you're gonna it's either a make or a break time of day for me. And this hit at just the right time. Adrenaline got going, and I got to being productive again.
Don't turn away. Look right through me. Wolves at bay. Double duty. Blow out my mind. Leave me wanting. Not your kind. Know this one thing. Sons of fate. There comes a day. This sick parade ends. Made of stone. Years have failed you. Flesh and bone. Fear's what they do. Excavate. Take like dogs if you wait. Good things come. Suns will fade. There comes a day. This sick parade ends. Suns will fade. There comes a day. This sick parade ends.
Guys, I guess you can tell the fishing has really picked up during this middle part of the day. At a time that you normally wouldn't be getting this many bites, I have been in another little flurry, and just kind of ignored the heat. I had plenty of Gatorade to drink, and the adrenaline on account of these bites and these fish getting in the boat and culling fish, and it's just exciting when that's going on, and you forget sometimes how hot it is. Sometimes I pay for that at the end of the day with heat, heat and dehydration. But this was a fun day. It really was. It was 100 degrees outside, but I was having a blast. And one of the little downturns of the day, you're about to see that I'm going to hook a fish that I honestly don't think I even turned around. I know we talk about it. Here it comes right here. This is an extremely strong fish. He headed back out toward the middle, tried to turn him. He just pulled off and was gone. That was the strongest fight or strongest pull of the entire day, and he came off. But can't let it get you down. Got to keep slinging, keep grinding. My day's almost over. There's storms moving in, so hang in there with me. I kept slinging, and we're going to get us another one here in the boat. You guys ever leave biting fish? It's literally the hardest thing in the world for me to do. It could be coming a tornado. I'd have to make that one more cast. And literally out of frame, the sky's getting black back behind me. But dang, I know these fish are still biting, and so hard to leave. So hard.
That's a good one.
Guys, I believe this fish right here would be the one to put me on top of the leaderboard far enough that it would last not only the rest of today, but the next day as well. I did fish the next day, and I believe I made a couple of culls the next day as well. I'm not sure that they were needed. I may have actually had it one on this one day, but I'm not going to swear by that. It was so hot. I can't stress enough to drink plenty of water, Gatorade, Pedialyte, whatever you guys stay hydrated with. Please take it with you. Keep it cold. And days like this, I don't know. I seem to dehydrate and get cramps in the evenings, and it's strictly because I don't drink enough while I'm out there. I'm getting better at it though. I'm making sure my cooler's with me now, and plenty to drink. I force myself to drink, even on days when I'm catching fish and I tend to forget. I'm drinking plenty. This was this was a blast. There's no other way to put it. 100 degrees out, but when you're catching fish, all that goes in the background. I appreciate so much you guys watching and hanging out with me. Let me show you the fish that I caught in the little derby. It was a lot of fun. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. This has dragged on a little longer than I wanted. You guys stay safe on the water. I got some more stuff coming. Got another tournament coming up in a couple days. Going to try to film that if the weather permits. And I'll see you guys next time. Stay safe. Tight lines. I'm out of here.
On strong crazy bets on me. Back mid scroll, I'm getting arcane. Walking the wild, walking the wild. Don't know why. Cosplay cowgirls number this jazz. We're feeling just fine.